The HOA fined me because my trash can was too visible. But that wasn't even the worst part. Karen, my neighbor, decided to make it her personal mission to knock it over every single week. She thought she was teaching me a lesson, but she had no idea what was coming next. I live in what's supposed to be a quiet suburban neighborhood. We have an HOA, and honestly, I never really had problems with them before. I kept my lawn trimmed, paid my dues on time, and followed the rules. But across the street lived Karen, the kind of neighbor who acts like she's the sheriff of the block. She's always peeking through her blinds, making notes, and calling the HOA about the most ridiculous things. It started small. Complaints about how my grass grew half an inch too long. Then about the color of my curtains. But things really escalated when it came to my trash can. One morning, I got a letter from the HOA. Apparently, my trash can was visible from the street, and that was a violation. $75 fine. I thought, okay, fine. I'll move it behind the fence. Simple, right? Wrong. The next week, I found my trash can knocked over. Trash everywhere. At first, I thought it was an accident. Maybe the wind? But then it happened again. And again. One night, I caught her. Karen. She was marching right up to my driveway, tipping my can over like it was her personal hobby. I opened the door and yelled, "Hey! What are you doing?" She didn't even look guilty. She crossed her arms and said, "Your trash can doesn't belong there. This is my neighborhood too, and I'm not going to let you make it look like a dump." I couldn't believe it. I replied, "It's my property. Stay off my driveway." Karen just smirked. Well, the HOA agrees with me. So either you learn, or I'll keep teaching you. Then she strutted back across the street like she just won a prize. From that moment on, it was war. Every trash day, my bin ended up on the ground. Sometimes with the lid ripped off, sometimes with the contents spilled everywhere. She even had the audacity to film me picking up the mess, probably hoping to submit it to the HOA as evidence. Then came the fines. Another letter. $150 this time. The HOA claimed my trash wasn't properly secured. Of course, they didn't mention Karen. They didn't care. All they saw was a violation, and they were happy to collect. I tried calling the HOA president, but she brushed me off. If you kept your trash contained, this wouldn't be an issue. I was furious. Not only was Karen harassing me, but the HOA was enabling her. That's when I realized if I wanted this to stop, I couldn't just play defense. I had to flip the game on her. Karen thought she had control. But she didn't know I was about to give her the shock of her life. After weeks of frustration, I came up with a plan. I wasn't just going to stop Karen. I was going to catch her red-handed. So, I bought a motion-activated camera and set it up overlooking my driveway. Hidden, of course, so she wouldn't know. Then, I went a step further. I ordered a new trash can online. But not just any trash can. This one had a spring-loaded locking lid and reinforced sides. Basically, Karen could knock on it all day and it wouldn't budge. Trash day came. And right on cue, there she was. Karen, in her robe and slippers, marching over like it was her morning workout routine. She grabbed the can, tried to tip it, and slam. It didn't move. She pulled harder, grunting, yanking at it, but the locking mechanism held firm. Then the best part, the camera caught everything. "Are you kidding me?" she yelled, slapping the lid. "Open up." I stepped outside. Calm. Collected. "Need help, Karen?" She froze. Her face turned red. "This trash can is illegal. You can't just." I held up my phone. "Smile. You're on camera." The look on her face was priceless. She stormed back to her house, screaming about how I'd regret this. The next week, I submitted the footage to the HOA board. Every single clip of her trespassing, vandalizing, and harassing me. At first, they tried to downplay it. Well, maybe it's a misunderstanding. But once I threatened to forward the footage to the city council and local police for harassment charges, suddenly they were singing a different tune. The HOA called an emergency meeting. For once, I wasn't the one in the hot seat. Karen was. They fined her for harassment, ordered her to stay off my property, and even warned her that if she kept it up, they'd pursue legal action on behalf of the neighborhood. From that day forward, Karen never touched my trash can again. In fact, she avoided eye contact altogether. The HOA? They actually backed off me too. Guess they realized I wasn't someone they could just push around. And now, every time I roll my trash can out to the curb, I do it with a little smile. Because justice? Served. So tell me, what would you have done if Karen kept knocking over your trash can? Drop your story in the comments, I'd love to read it. And if you enjoy seeing HOA bullies and Karens get put in their place, make sure to subscribe. New stories every week.